Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wayne Gaming, and some of you may ask, what are the Gaming Dragon? Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Rain Check. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alrighty. Who's Coulson? Wait, did we? Wait, what the fuck? We're in Rhou's room. Okay. Remember I'm wearing that very spiffy outfit. Who's Coulson? The sudden mention of the name catches me off guard. I haven't heard that name in years. Coulson? You were muttering their name last night. Did I? Crap. My face is flushed and I quickly look away, trying to act as nonchalant as possible. They were, a friend. My voice cracks just as I'm about to finish my sentence. Is that so? Well, it's none of my business. Just curious. His line of questioning reminds me of what he mentioned last night. Oh, yeah, why'd you bring up sleep talking last night? It's actually related to this. You spoke another name yesterday when you passed out on my bed. Maxwell, another one of your friends? I wince at the mention of that name, my head looking down at the ground to avoid eye contact. No, that was my father. Was? I see. He mutters something to himself before he speaks up once more. Well, just keep that in mind. You might unknowingly reveal something personal. You know what I mean? I nod back, and now I'm wondering if I said anything else last night. I didn't say anything revealing last night, did I? His chuckle is gentle, as if trying to lighten the mood. He waves a paw dismissively, then gestures toward the hotel room door. I'll be waiting for you in the hallway. The elevator ride down is unsurprisingly fast, given that it's still early in the morning. Rhou is preoccupied with adjusting straps on the sleeves of his overcoat. He's even bulkier with that coat on. It seems so cumbersome. We arrive at the lobby, exit through a separate set of doors, and reach the hotel driveway. I follow Rhu's lead as he points to a black sedan with heavily tinted windows situated on the opposite side of the parking lot. Wonder why my cab driver didn't pull up here yesterday. It's just around the corner from the street entrance. As we walk over, the driver's side window rolls down. The same fox from yesterday reveals himself. A fine morning to the gentleman. And Rhou? And Rhou scoffs back, looking unimpressed. We're lucky it doesn't seem to be raining. Yet. The wolf gets into the front passenger seat, leaving the back completely free for me. The fox takes out his phone and punches something in it before driving. Give Theodore the rundown. Sure, let's see. Well, today's definitely interesting. Our first stop is Iridescent Drive. After that, we'll head to Cyprus, and if time permits, we'll check out another site. I'll explain more of what we'll be doing when we get there. My attention bounces from Javier to Rhou. The height difference between them is striking. Rhou has to bend slightly forward to prevent his head from hitting the roof, while Javier's head is barely on the headrest. Oh, God, sweet coffee. I stare out the side window, seeing the building slide by like a carousel as we speed down the deserted morning streets. So, Theodore, I tried to trace the origin of those messages but came up short. Whoever sent them didn't want to be found. They knew what they were doing. My paws curl tighter around the edge of my seat. That being said, this could still be a bluff and it may not be serious at all. Wait, how'd you get into my messages? I don't remember giving my passcode. Oh, I didn't need it. I just simply pinged a signal... Oh, God. I just signal multi-tool sending fake... Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, clever. Okay. Clever. It's child's play, really. You lost me at multi-tool. He hacked into your phone, more or less. Hey! You're grossly oversimplifying the mechanisms at work here. Just drive. The fox mutters something under his breath, a grumble of discontent. Eventually the silence returns, and with it the feeling of unease starts to churn within. Hey, I brought some tortas if you guys are hungry. Tortas are so good. It's like basically a Mexican hamburger or cheeseburger. It's so good. My stomach growls from the mention of food. He offers a bag from the center console over to Rhou, who declines and then passes the bag over to me instead. I take the plastic bag, take a torta out, and inspect it. It's a lot heavier than I thought. Tortas? It's a kind of sandwich. You don't have any allergies, do you? They are somewhat spicy. No, I should be fine. Left! The car lurches to the side abruptly, causing me to drop the sandwich, staining my jacket. Oh, pendejo! Javier wrestles with the steering wheel, maneuvering the car around an intersection and swerving past a blurry figure. A resonating thump vibrates through the vehicle, violently shaking us in our seats. Fucking hell! I manage to fasten myself to my seat and regain balance as the car stabilizes and comes to a stop. What the hell just happened? Did we hit someone? Glancing behind to see a figure sprawled on the street with lengthy black skid marks trailing over the curb and sidewalk to where we are now. No, I swerved around them at the last second, luckily. They're getting back up. They'll be fine. The fox examines his side view mirror and nods. Let's not waste any more time. What, we're just gonna leave? We all good? I'm fine, I guess. Me too. Then we're leaving. Isn't this a miss and run, though? Not when they jumped from the sidewalk. They were either on something or that was the saddest attempted insurance fraud I've seen in my life. We can check the dash cam later. My heart's racing from the near collision. How can they be so calm about this? Shit, the engine light is on. Must have shaken something loose in the hood. Might be a sensor. Fuck, I didn't get insurance for this rental. Can you help me check it out when we stop? Please? Fine. Coffee time. The rest of the car ride is much calmer in comparison. Even after attempting to clean it, my jacket carries a lingering scent of chili peppers and onions, prompting me to remove it. Javier is driving much slower and with caution now, and Rhou keeps casting glances over his shoulder as if we're being followed. Despite the relative quiet, my nerves are anything but settled. I look down at my phone to check the time. It's almost 6:30. Been on the road for over 30 minutes now. How much further do we have to go? My question goes unanswered, swallowed by the silence in the car. Looking outside, I realize we're in an industrial area with warehouses and factories stretching as far as the eye can see. The city skyline is quite distant now, but I can still distinguish the silhouette of the Grand Marine, at least I think. Actually, we're here. We'll park down the street and walk the rest of the way. We pull over next to a sprawling factory that looks long abandoned with a rusted fence surrounding the perimeter. Where the hell are we? How did we get to a place like this when we were just in the city minutes ago? Rhou stretches, yawning as he does so. Next time, get a bigger car. Yeah. Speaking of which, could you check the hood? I'll start making my way over. He waves a device in his paw, gesturing Rhou towards the hood, then turns to walk down the street. All right. What about me? Rhou motions towards Javier, who's already some distance away. This won't take long. I'll catch up. Okay. I start jogging to catch up with Javier, but he turns and raises a paw, signaling for me to slow down. Try to be more discreet, please. I ease my sprint into a steady walk, gradually catching up to him. For a man his size, Javier certainly moves quickly, or maybe it's just me who's slow. Silence envelops us as we stroll down the dimly lit road, the fox's gaze ahead unwavering. Eventually, we come to a halt before a towering, rusted gate. Beyond it, an imposing power plant looms, flanked by a large warehouse. I look over at Javier, who's pointing the device in his paw towards the gate. I expect something to happen as he presses a button, but nothing does. There. What did you just do? The shifted the gate's surveillance signal to another channel. Much safer than disabling it, obviously. This should buy us about an hour's worth of time. Casting my gaze beyond the gate, I make out 2 cameras on top of the power line, with one facing our immediate path ahead. What about that camera? The fox looks at me skeptically, then squints in the direction I'm pointing. A bit too dark, but... He lines up the device with his eyes and aims it upwards without hesitation. Better safe than sorry. Huh. You can see it, right? Just barely. You tigers in your night vision. He mumbles to himself and strides past the gates, monitoring for me to follow. Wait, are we finding another way in? Exactly. Going in directly would draw too much attention. Maybe we can find an alternative entry point. God, I need more coffee. I carefully trail along the fence with Javier, trying not to make too much noise with the gravel around. Maybe I can pry a tad into our objective. Hey, what are we searching for exactly? Anything unusual, of the ordinary, weird, suspicious. And we're planning on going inside the power plant? Yes, but we'll decide our point of entry once Rhou arrives. He halts and scans the surroundings before turning his gaze back to me. Speaking of which, what do you think of Rhou? Huh? The sudden question catches my attention. I look at Javier, perplexed. What do you mean? He's nice, I suppose. He returned my wallet and saved me a whole headache of trouble. He raises a brow at my response, seeming unconvinced. Is that so? I'm surprised he hasn't scared you off like he does with most people. Why would he scare me away? Is this related to something? I don't see how this... Haven't you noticed how large he is? He's even taller and bigger than you. Plus, he's not known for his friendliness. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I'm actually not sure if I've got a good read on him. Hopefully he doesn't find me too annoying. What about you? Aren't you scared of him? No, not really. There's nothing he can do to scare me. And why is that? No particular reason. By the way, I think he has a soft spot for you. He smirks as his words fluster me. He reaches over, giving my shoulder a playful tap. Too much? Now I understand what Rhou meant. What are you talking about? Why don't you ask him about it later? Anyway, let's continue on. I want to find a decent vantage point before Rhou arrives. Confusion lingers in my mind, wondering what Javier is trying to convey. He strolls alongside the fence, eventually vanishing around a corner. Although tempted to shout after Javier for an explanation, I remember that we need to maintain our undercover status. I hastily follow his lead, hoping not to get left behind. We distance ourselves from the entrance gates by a couple of 100 feet, yet the power plant seems to stretch endlessly. There's not much around here apart from the vast fields of grass surrounding the area. So far, I haven't noticed anything unusual. Javier continues to disable surveillance cameras as we pass by, and it's amusing to watch him point at them with a small device in his paw. What is that, anyway? This? He waves the gadget in his paw with intent. It's the same multi-tool device I used on your phone last night. A bit flipper. Bit flipper? How does it work? How exactly does it work? I won't bore you with the details, but it lets me manipulate, save, and store signals. Huh, that's cool. This isn't a toy, you know. It must be used with great care. Right. By the way, there's a camera over there you missed. I didn't miss it. I was just about to get it. Wouldn't the security personnel get suspicious if all the cameras are messed with? No, I'm simply reassigning their cameras to another channel temporarily. This causes their video feed to lag and allows us to walk by undetected. I nod in response, pretending to comprehend the technical workings behind it. I'm definitely a coffee person. Javier looks around and points at several large steel pipes that snake over the fencing. Perfect. He scurries over to inspect the pipes leading out of the tall metal fence. Fortunately for us, this seems to be a blind spot. Although... Javier ponders for a second, hesitating to speak. What is it? Suddenly he looks at me, his gaze contemplative. Shit, where the hell's Rhou when you need him? What's wrong? I won't climb this. The pipe's too wide and slippery for me. I can't risk getting injured. Looks like we'll have to go back to the car and retrieve the drone, although that might not be a good idea. I study the pipes again. They stand at least 10 feet high and way wider than Javier. I can do it. What? I can climb the pipe. You? Climb the pipe? Are you serious? You're trying to impress the wrong guy. I'd rather not have you do anything to jeopardize your safety. I'm serious. I've climbed similar things back home countless times. I want to help out, too. It's the least I can do after involving you guys in this. This is one of the few things I'm good at. And here I thought you were going to be a liability, even though you technically still would be if you fell. He examines my body and tail before reluctantly nodding. Fine. If you're so determined, I won't stop you. But if you fall can't get up, I'm leaving you here. Also, take this. Javier reaches into his coat and retrieves a device similar to the bit flipper before handing it to me. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Kate Silverman. Thank you for going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits and get access to all of our not safe for work content as little as $5, alrighty? I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!